Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're unpacking a truly seismic jolt in the world of soccer.
Yeah, seismic is the right word.
Okay,
But not an earthquake, right?
not quite. This one's financial, sending ripples right from Liverpool, England, across the entire sport.
Indeed. It's a tremor, measured in pounds and dollars, not on the Richter scale. Fascinating stuff, really, in the economics of football today.
And it's all thanks to Liverpool FC. The Reds have just shelled out a truly staggering 116 million,
Wow.
which is about 156 million US dollars.
For one player.
For one player. Germany's rising star Florian Wirtz coming over from Bayer Leverkusen, and this deal set for June 21st, 2025. It isn't just big.
No, it's way beyond big.
It's record-breaking. Instantly makes Wirtz the most expensive signing in Premier League history.
And one of the priciest players, well, ever, full stop.
You guessed it.
It's a huge statement, isn't it? Makes you really look closely at the financial side of modern football.
And that's exactly our mission today. We're diving deep into this wild, wallet-busting world of soccer transfers.
Trying to make sense of the madness.
Exactly. We want to uncover the cold, hard facts behind it all. Hopefully give you some surprising insights, maybe a chuckle or two along the way.
Sounds good.
We're exploring what this single massive transfer tells us about the global economics of the beautiful game. So let's get into it.
Right. Let's start with the man himself, Florian Wirtz. Who is he?
Yeah, tell us about him.
Well, he's a 22-year-old attacking midfielder from Pulheim, Germany. And honestly, he's a standout talent. Been on the radar of top clubs for quite some time now.
And you can see why. He actually debuted for Bayer Leverkusen at just 17.
17.
Yeah, becoming the youngest player in their history to play in the Bundesliga. That's not just talent, that's raw potential showing up incredibly early.
And it wasn't just potential for long. It quickly turned into real impact. By 2023, he was absolutely instrumental in Leverkusen's first ever Bundesliga title.
So first ever, yeah. Huge.
Huge. And he racked up 11 goals and 11 assists in just 32 matches. That's direct involvement in 22 goals. Shows you how much he can influence games at the top level.
And it wasn't a one-off season either, was it?
Not at all. Last season, he followed it up 10 goals, 12 assists, helped Leverkusen get second place and into the Champions League knockout stages.
So consistent delivery, no flash in the pan here.
Definitely not. His style on the pitch,
Yeah.
it's like pure magic sometimes.
Really? How so?
Imagine a player with incredible vision, great technique, super composed, can dish out these pinpoint passes or curl shots that just leave keepers stranded.
I've heard comparisons to like Mesut Ozil.
Yeah, you hear that.
Yeah.
But crucially, Wirtz has this exceptional work rate too. That makes him, pretty unique, I think.
Right, not just flair. He puts the work in.
Exactly. Which makes him even more valuable. For Liverpool, the thinking is he slots right into midfield alongside McAllister and Gravenberch.
That sounds like a seriously formidable trio.
It does. And that kind of promise, that potential,
Hmm.
it leads us right to the elephant in the room, doesn't it?
The price tag, that truly eye-watering number.
Absolutely. When you see that figure, 116 million pounds, it's not just about a player anymore. It's a massive financial move. Makes headlines everywhere.
So break it down for us. What's in that number?
Okay, so the deal is an initial 100 million
Right.
with up to another 16 million pounds in add-ons.
Ah, the add-ons, performance bonuses.
Exactly. Things like, if Wirtz helps them win trophies, plays a certain number of games, scores X number of goals, that kind of thing triggers extra payments.
And when you put that total figure, 116 million potentially, into context,
Yeah.
it's just huge. It absolutely smashes the previous Premier League record.
Which was held by Chelsea, right? For Moises Caicedo.
Yeah, just last year. They paid 115 million. Wirtz now stands alone at the top.
And it also makes him the most expensive German player ever.
By a long shot.
Yeah, overtaking Kai Havertz. His move to Chelsea in 2020 was 71 million pounds.
Felt enormous then.
It did. Now, compared to Wirtz, it honestly looks like a clearance sale.
Huh. So the big question then, is he worth it? Is Wirtz really worth that hype, that astonishing price?
It's the million-dollar question, or rather the 116 million pound question.
Exactly.
Look, when Liverpool invests this much, they're not just buying a player's skills.
No?
You're investing in a brand. Wirtz is young. He's incredibly marketable, already a star for Germany. He's really positioned as like the face of a new generation for German football.
Okay, so that profile, the talent and the marketability, that's worth a lot in today's game.
It's worth its weight in gold, apparently. Critics might scoff, say no player's worth that much.
And many do.
Sure. But that's just the reality of the market now. I mean, you see decent left backs going for prices that could buy you a private jet.
True.
So Wirtz's fee, while immense, it's kind of just the cost of doing business at the absolute elite level these days.
And this isn't just a Premier League story, is it? It's global.
Absolutely global. That 116 million fee, potentially 136.5 million with bonuses, it catapults him into a really elite club worldwide.
The most expensive transfers ever. He's rubbing shoulders with some serious legends now.
And what a club it is. You know, at the very top, you've still got Neymar. Barcelona to PSG, 2017. $262 million.
The deal that changed everything.
Totally redefined the market. Though, you know, injuries, off-field, drama, maybe TSG fans wonder about the full return on that one.
Then there's Mbappé. Monaco to PSG, 2018, $216 million.
Who now, after all the titles and awards, honestly looks like a bargain.
Yeah.
Which is wild to say for $216 million.
It really is. And then number 3. This is where it gets a bit ironic for Liverpool fans, right?
Ah, yes. Philippe Coutinho, Liverpool to Barcelona, 2018. $192 million.
So Liverpool cashed in big time on Coutinho.
And now they're spending a huge chunk on Wirtz years later. Barcelona thought they had the next Iniesta.
Didn't quite work out.
No. He struggled. Lots of loans. Never really hit those heights at Camp Nou.
And now, our man Florian Wirtz, sitting at number 4 globally. $156 million base fee.
Potentially higher, yeah. The pressure is immense, but, you know, his calm demeanor suggests he might just handle it.
Let's hope so. Who else is on that list nearby?
Well, you've got Jude Bellingham, another young star. Dortmund to Real Madrid, 2023. Around $139 million with add-ons.
And he's been a huge success story so far.
Massive. If Wirtz needs a role model for handling a big move and delivering, Bellingham's a pretty good one.
What about others? Any cautionary tales?
Oh, sure. Joao Felix to Atletico Madrid, $142 million. Flashes of brilliance, but maybe not the full fireworks show consistently.
Right.
Antoine Griezmann, another big Barcelona signing, $134 million. Again, never quite seemed to fit perfectly there. Enzo Fernandez at Chelsea, $130.5 million. Still relatively early days for him. Time to prove his worth.
And on the more successful side?
Jack Grealish to Man City, $126.8 million. He's been key for them, a fan favorite.
Yeah.
And Declan Rice to Arsenal, $126 million. Been an absolute rock for them, proving his value.
So Wirtz is joining some elite company.
He really is.
Yeah.
Outpacing some huge names. But, as Coutinho and Felix show, that big price tag, it's no guarantee, is it?
No guarantee at all. It's a gamble. Like buying a Ferrari, you said.
Yeah. You still need to know how to drive it. And the team needs to integrate it properly.
And Wirtz's move, as huge as it is, isn't really an isolated event, is it? It feels like part of a bigger trend.
Definitely. The Premier League has become this financial juggernaut. Clubs spending like it's monopoly money, but, you know, real money.
The figures are just staggering. What did they spend last summer?
Summer 2023. English clubs splashed out over $2.5 billion.
Billion, with a B.
With a B. Chelsea's Caicedo, Arsenal's Rice, City's Grealish. Those 9-figure deals are becoming, well, not common, but less shocking.
Even goalkeepers are fetching crazy fees now.
Right. Remember Chelsea paying $71 million for Kepa back in 2018?
And Liverpool's own Alisson, $66.8 million that same year. Seems like a bargain now.
Almost. So what's driving all this? Why the madness?
Yeah, what is it?
Few key things. First, those massive global TV deals. Just pouring billions into the clubs. Second, billionaire owners. Viewing clubs as global brands, personal investments.
Right.
And third, I think there's a real fear of missing out. FOMO.
Ah, interesting. Explain that.
Well, it's such a competitive league. If you don't spend, you risk falling behind. If City signs Wirtz and you're Arsenal or United and you don't respond, that gap widens.
So the perceived cost of not spending feels higher than actually spending big.
In many boardrooms, probably yes.
But it can't be just endless spending, can it? There are rules.
There are. You've got UEFA's financial fair play trying to make clubs spend within their means. And the Premier League has its own rules too. Squad cost ratios linked to revenue.
Like a grump accountant watching over their shoulder.
Exactly. And clubs know spending big doesn't always guarantee success. Look at Man United, $80 million on Maguire, $82 million on Anthony.
And the results haven't always followed. Ask their fans.
Precisely. For Liverpool, though, Wirtz feels like more than just another signing. It's a real statement of intent.
They do have a history of pretty smart spending, don't they? Big spending, but smart.
They do. Think Alisson and Virgil van Dijk. £75 million for Van Dijk in 2018. They transformed that defense, won titles. Those investments paid off massively.
Compared to, say, their previous record signing, Darwin Núñez.
Yeah, Núñez was $85 million in 2022. But those add-ons you mentioned, they haven't all been triggered.
Because he hasn't quite lit the world on fire.
He hasn't consistently delivered in the way they perhaps hoped. Wirtz feels different. He's already proven at the top level, not so much a gamble on potential. His arrival signals Liverpool want to dominate on and off the pitch.
But it's still a huge risk, right? $116 million.
Oh, absolutely. That's enough money to fund a small hospital.
Wow.
If he struggles, if he doesn't adapt, heaven forbid he flops, the critics will be absolutely ruthless.
And Liverpool's squad is already stacked. Salah, Trent, will he gel? Can he handle the pace, the physicality of the Premier League?
Big questions. And those Anfield expectations. The cop demands a lot. They don't suffer fools gladly, as they say.
This whole thing isn't just a Premier League story, though. It reflects the global picture.
Definitely. Remember PSG, Neymar, and Mbappé in 2017, $478 million combined.
Set the benchmark, reset the market.
They really paved the way for these kinds of colossal fees.
And since then, we've seen new players enter the game.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia's Pro League emerged really quickly as a significant force. Neymar moving there for $98 million in 2023 was part of that big push.
They're spending like they found a money tree.
Pretty much, though the league itself is still, a work in progress competitively on the global stage.
And back in Europe.
Still big spending. Real Madrid's $139 million for Bellingham. Barca's $192 million for Coutinho. The Giants are still willing to open their wallets for the right player.
But Wirtz's old home, the Bundesliga, it's a bit different, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Generally, German clubs are known more for developing talent, selling it on for profit, not splashing huge sums themselves.
So Leverkusen selling Wirtz is massive for them.
It's a record for the Bundesliga. Smashes their previous high, which was Havertz. It's kind of bittersweet for German fans, I imagine.
How so?
Well, they love seeing their stars shine, but hate watching them leave for English or Spain.
Yeah, I can imagine. And speaking of fans, they're a passionate bunch. This Wirtz move must have caused quite a stir online.
Oh, an absolute firestorm. Predictably, Liverpool supporters, they're absolutely over the moon.
Memes incoming.
Flooding social media. Memes of Wirtz lifting the Premier League trophy already. Some are even calling him the German Messi.
Wow, no pressure then.
None at all. And rival fans, of course.
Just impressed.
Naturally. United fans joking their club would spend that on a bench warmer. Chelsea fans muttering how Caicedo's $115 million now looks, quote, reasonable.
Huh. It's all relative, I guess. But beyond the banter, there is that serious question, isn't there? Sustainability.
It keeps coming up. Is all this spending sustainable long term? Fans are already grumbling about ticket prices going up and up.
Anfield seats costing more than your Netflix subscription.
Easily. And when clubs spend hundreds of millions on one player, you have to ask, who ultimately pays for it?
It's us, the fans. Buying the jerseys, the tickets, the overpriced stadium food.
Exactly. It's not just numbers on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
It affects the fan experience, the accessibility of the game. What does it mean for the long-term health of football?
Yeah, a crucial question. So, looking ahead, what can we actually expect from Wirtz on the pitch at Liverpool?
Well, if his Leverkusen form is anything to go by,
Yeah.
he could be a game changer. Imagine him weaving through defenders, linking with Salah, firing rockets past keepers.
Anfield would go absolutely wild.
Electric. And if he delivers that $116 million will feel like a steal in hindsight.
But the flip side.
If he struggles, if he doesn't adapt, the headlines will be brutal. Football's a cruel business. For every Bellingham success story, there's a Coutinho who trips over their price tag.
And his move will have knock-on effects, right? The market ripples.
Undoubtedly. Other clubs will now demand even crazier fees for their stars. Agents will be rubbing their hands together.
And Leverkusen.
Flush with cash. They'll likely reinvest, find new talent, keep the Bundesliga competitive in their own way. And who knows, maybe in a few years, another young gem emerges to break Wirtz's record.
So summing up then, Florian Wirtz to Liverpool for $116 million. It's more than just a transfer.
It really is. It's a milestone. Most expensive in Premier League history, record for German football.
Yeah.
A huge, bold bet on a 22-year-old.
And it's a microcosm of how soccer has evolved, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The game's not just goals and glory anymore. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Players are assets, clubs are global brands, and fans. Fans are often customers.
That sounds maybe a bit cynical, but it feels like the reality. The Premier League's financial power, fueled by TV money, it just keeps growing.
Shows no signs of slowing. Meanwhile, other leagues, the Bundesliga, the Saudi Pro League, they're trying to find their own way. Mixed results, perhaps?
For fans, it's kind of bittersweet, isn't it?
It really is. On one hand, you get to watch these incredible talents, Wirtz, Mbappé, Bellingham, just redefining the game, pushing boundaries.
But on the other hand,
This financial arms race, it undeniably pushes football further from its grassroots origins, makes it less accessible for some.
yeah. Remember when, like, 20 million was a massive transfer fee?
Feels like a lifetime ago. Now we're talking fees that could fund a small moon landing, maybe.
So the final thought for you, the listener. What does this all mean for your experience? It's a thrilling ride, for sure, but often expensive. Every player has this huge price tag attached. How much more can the market possibly stretch before something, somewhere, has to give?
It's a fascinating question, something to ponder as we keep watching this beautiful and, often completely absurd game unfold.